It arrived in a plain wooden crate. No label, no return address. Just a note. She's yours now. We thought it was a prank, until Mia saw it. Her eyes lit up like the doll was familiar somehow. She whispered, "She's not new." I remember her. The doll had a cracked porcelain face, faded blue dress, and glass eyes that caught every flicker of light. She looked too alert. I didn't want to say it out loud, but it felt like she was watching us even when we turned her around. A few days later, things got strange. I left the doll on Mia's dresser, but the next morning, she was on the stairs, sitting upright, facing the front door. I blamed Mia, told her to stop moving it around. But she swore she didn't. I didn't believe her. Until I found the doll in the kitchen drawer. The worst part? The drawer was locked. Then one night, I walked past Mia's room, and the doll was sitting in her bed. Mia was asleep, but the doll was sitting upright, staring at the ceiling fan like it was waiting for something. I decided to catch whatever was happening. I placed a nanny cam on the shelf across Mia's room. The footage started normally. At 2:46 a.m., the doll turned her head. Slowly. At 2:47, she stood up, her arms stiff, legs clicking. At 2:48, she faced the camera. At 2:49, the entire feed went black. No static, no error message, just a void. When I checked the memory card the next day, the last frame was her face, inches from the lens. I started reading about possession, ritual protection, anything I could find. One source said salt traps spirits. That night, after Mia went to sleep, I placed the doll in the center of the hallway, poured a perfect salt circle around her. I left a camera running, sat in the kitchen with every light on, didn't sleep. When I checked the hallway in the morning, the salt was scattered. The doll was gone, and on the wall behind where she sat, someone had drawn a smiley face with burnt fingertips. Mia changed. She started talking in whispers, laughing when no one else was in the room. I asked her who she was talking to. She said, "The girl with the glass eyes." I told her to stop. She cried and said, "She says you're next." That night, I couldn't sleep. I heard humming, a song I hadn't heard since childhood. When I got to Mia's room, the doll was sitting on the floor. Mia was gone, but her voice came from the closet. She wants me to stay in her house now. When I opened the door, there was no one inside. I searched the entire house. I should have left, but I couldn't. In the basement, she was waiting, smiling. She never blinked, but she never looked away. I searched the entire house, room by room, floorboards, attic, backyard. Nothing. I smashed the doll, set fire to the remains, but the next morning, she was back on the dresser, not a crack on her. That's when the light started flickering, the doors slamming. Something growled in the vents. Then came the scratches on the walls. At first just lines, then words. She never blinked. I tried to leave. The front door wouldn't open, windows jammed shut. And last night, I heard Mia's voice again. But she's not calling for help. She's singing that same lullaby. I followed her voice to the basement. She was there, sitting next to the doll. Her eyes were all black. Her mouth didn't move. But I heard them both say, "She never blinked. And now, neither will you." I can't move. I can't scream. The doll is standing now. She's smiling. The basement lights never came on again. I used my phone flashlight. Every step echoed like something was mimicking me. Where Mia had been sitting was now a miniature house, a perfect replica of ours. but made of wood and bone. Inside the dollhouse, I saw tiny versions of us. Me, Mia, the doll. Except the tiny me was missing its eyes. And the tiny Mia was sitting in the attic room, trapped behind toothpick bars. When I looked up, I heard footsteps above. But we don't have an attic, not in this house. I climbed the stairs anyway. And at the top, a door that was never there before. Painted shut, I peeled it open. Inside was a room filled with dolls, hundreds, each one nailed to the wall, each one smiling. In the center was Mia's voice. But she was whispering in reverse. I ran, slammed the attic shut, tried to wake up from whatever this was. But on the kitchen table was a page I didn't write. The handwriting was jagged, burned into the paper. It read, "Rules of the house 1. Do not break her things. 2. Do not lie to her. 3. Do not look away. 4. Do not forget her name. 5. Do not try to leave. At the bottom, you've broken all 5. That's when I heard scratching under the table. The doll was there, crawling, not walking, crawling. Her head twisted too far left, her porcelain hand clutching a strand of Mia's hair. She said something this time, in a raspy whisper, too soft to be human. You forgot Rule 6. Then silence. I grabbed the paper again. This time, it had one more line. Rule 6. Never play with what's already broken. I called a priest, a local paranormal expert, even a witch from 3 towns over. None of them made it past the front yard. One dropped dead at the gate. Another screamed, "It's not a doll, it's wearing the doll." That night, a new room appeared. The hallway stretched longer than the house should allow. At the end, a black door marked Room 6. The doorknob was ice cold, the kind of cold that feels like it's biting through bone. When I opened it, it was the hospital room where Mia was born. Same lights, same blood-stained blanket. On the bed was a baby, wrapped in cloth, not breathing. When I leaned in, its eyes opened, black as pitch, and the doll's voice came out. You shouldn't have wished for her to be special. It finally made sense. This wasn't about the doll. Not really. She was a vessel, a collector for something older, hungrier. Years ago, when Mia was still in the womb, doctors told us she wouldn't make it. That night, I remember whispering into the dark, "Please, just let her live. Take anything, anything." I thought no one heard, but something did. And now, the doll was here to collect. Mia was fading, her eyes no longer her own, her voice layered, like something else was speaking through her. I screamed, begged, offered myself instead. The lights went out. The air turned to ice. And then, silence. When I woke, I was inside glass. Wooden walls around me. I tried to move, but I was stiff. Cold. Porcelain. I saw Mia through the reflection, alive, smiling, hugging her mother. But not me. I'm not there anymore. I'm on her dresser, inside the doll. And when the lights go out, I never blink. I only smile.